of all the fake news and it affects
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth. Not just to be first, but to tell the truth.
I'm a leading man. You know, I don't follow nobody. I follow the Lord.
Jerry, been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know. Wouldn't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Before Training Day rolled cameras, Denzel Washington proved why he's known for making interviewers and even street legends uneasy in the most respectful way possible. Alone, he walked into Imperial Courts, one of Los Angeles' most dangerous neighborhoods, to speak directly with Crip leaders about filming there. No bodyguards, no negotiation teams.
We've been able to sit down with members of Bloods and members of the Crips and film in Imperial Courts and film in the jungle.
Just him asking for respect by giving it first. From high-stakes movie sets to blunt, no-nonsense interviews, these are the moments Denzel Washington made others uncomfortable simply by being real. Chapter 1. The Cancel Culture Interview in 2025. Decades after Training Day, Denzel Washington still walks into the kind of rooms most people avoid, the ones where saying the wrong thing can blow up online. In 2025, during an interview that quickly went viral, he faced the heat of cancel culture head-on. When asked about social media mobs and public judgment, he didn't flinch. Calm, measured, and unshakable, he said, "Social media is not the place to determine your worth." The interviewer blinked, the room shifted, and the audience leaned in.
In my day, you had to have something before they got there. So you actually had to be good, not followed.
That clip exploded across X, with fans calling it a masterclass in refusing to bow to pressure. It wasn't just about the words, it was the way he said them, like someone who's seen it all and won't let the world dictate his value. Later that year, promoting Highest to Lowest, he doubled down. Snubbed for an Oscar, he shrugged and said, "Man gives the awards, God gives the rewards." No bitterness, no excuses, just clarity. This wasn't new for Denzel. From Glory in 1990 to Training Day in 2002, he's always put meaning over applause. He's never let critics, fans, or online mobs tell him who he is or what his work is worth. That quiet, unshakable confidence is part of why he can make people feel uncomfortable without even raising his voice. Watching him in these moments, you realize it's not arrogance, it's authenticity, the kind that can't be manufactured, taught, or swayed by trends.
We don't care who it hurts, we don't care who we destroy, we don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
In a world obsessed with clicks, likes, and instant judgment, Denzel Washington remains a steady force. His 2025 interview wasn't just a soundbite, it was a reminder that integrity, truth, and self-respect aren't negotiable. And if that makes the room tense or the questions stumble, that's just the price of being real in Hollywood. Chapter 2. When he publicly checked Jerry Jones. Denzel Washington's willingness to confront power didn't stop at gang-lined streets or tense red carpets. It carried all the way onto live TV and national airwaves. In August 2025, during a taping of ESPN's First Take, the iconic actor and lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan appeared alongside Spike Lee to promote their film Highest to Lowest. What started as a film conversation quickly veered into football territory, and Denzel didn't hold back. With his trademark calm intensity, he leaned into the camera and said, "I've been a Cowboys fan since the 60s. He's making it hard for me." There was no hesitation in his voice, just a quiet authority that made it clear he wasn't speaking lightly. He made sure to separate loyalty from frustration. Not to be a fan because I'm still a Cowboys fan. I'm still going to have the star on the side of the hat. Yet he didn't spare his critique, driving home his point with precision. He ain't thinking about us, he's thinking about his pocket. Then, in true Denzel fashion, he shifted gears with theatrical flair, comparing football to the world of film. There's box office and there's Oscars, Jerry. Ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know what it is to win. It was not just a critique, it was a performance. Every word weighted with authority and wit. He capped it with a line that immediately caught fire on social media. "All money ain't good money, Jerry."
All money ain't good money, Jerry.
Say it again.
All money ain't good money, Jerry.
The phrase didn't just resonate with the studio, it echoed across X and other platforms, with fans praising his courage and candor. One even joked that Denzel should host his own sports talk show, delivering truth to power every week. The timing of his commentary wasn't coincidental. The Cowboys had not reached the Super Bowl since 1995, and recent seasons, including the disappointing 2024 campaign, had ended without playoff success. Star defensive end Micah Parsons had publicly requested a trade amid stalled contract talks, placing the spotlight firmly on owner Jerry Jones' leadership. Against this backdrop, Denzel's words were more than a fan rant. They were a public check from someone who knew how to speak truth without theatrics, yet never lost style or conviction.
Some who have an opinion about what something should be when they haven't done it. Those who can do, those who can't talk about those who can. Those who have know what they're talking about. Those who haven't don't.
In that moment, Denzel Washington reminded the nation that honesty, passion, and accountability aren't just reserved for the big screen. Even in sports, he proved there's a role for integrity, wit, and unapologetic voice, qualities he spent a lifetime mastering. Chapter 3. Courtside confrontation after the Lakers game. Not every moment that exposes Denzel Washington's intensity happens under bright studio lights or on the red carpet. Some of his most charged encounters unfold in public spaces, off-script, where the stakes feel personal and raw. After a Lakers game in 2025, a fan-captured video began circulating online, showing Denzel in what appeared to be a tense confrontation. The footage, shaky and muffled, captured him leaning in, shoulder squared, finger pointed, not shouting, but radiating an unmistakable authority. His body language alone made it clear. This was a man used to command, and he wasn't backing down. Security quickly stepped in to separate the parties, but not before viewers got a close-up look at Washington's fierce focus, the kind of intensity usually reserved for his most transformative roles. The video sparked a wave of speculation. Online discussions debated whether the other party had provoked him or if Denzel had simply been defending someone or something he believed in. The details remain unclear, but that uncertainty only amplified the fascination. What is undeniable, however, is Washington's readiness to confront conflict head-on, even in situations most would avoid, in spaces that have become public without their consent. This courtside confrontation became another chapter in the legend of a man who doesn't shy away from tension. It wasn't about theatrics or self-promotion, it was about presence, accountability, and a refusal to let disrespect slide. For those watching it, it was a reminder that Denzel Washington's power isn't limited to the screen. It follows him into real life, into moments where truth and principle collide, and the world can't help but notice. Chapter 4. The interview tactic that makes reporters shift in their seats. Denzel Washington has a way of making even seasoned reporters rethink their approach. Over decades in Hollywood, he's developed a reputation for quietly flipping the script during interviews, especially when questions feel off track, invasive, or designed to provoke. Unlike many stars who offer rehearsed sound bites or politely deflect, Denzel has mastered the art of redirecting the conversation without ever seeming confrontational. One iconic moment happened during a bustling red carpet event. A reporter, leaning in with a politically charged question, seemed to expect a quick reaction. Instead, Denzel paused, measuring his words with deliberate calm, and asked softly, "Why do you ask me like that?" There was no snap, no defensiveness, just a subtle, piercing way of turning the spotlight back onto the questioner. The room went quiet, cameras clicked. The interviewer, momentarily caught off guard, shifted in their seat, forced to consider the intent behind their own words. These are the moments that define Washington's approach, a mix of patience, insight, and quiet authority. He doesn't need to dominate the conversation, he just reframes it, guiding the dialogue toward reflection and respect. Fans and fellow journalists have marveled at this skill, noting that it's less about performance and more about presence. It's a reminder that Denzel Washington doesn't just act on screen, he commands attention and respect wherever he goes, subtly teaching that how we speak and how we listen matters just as much as what we say.
Longs métrages, je vous ai parlé dans votre fichier, il y a eu aussi le
By the time the interview concludes, the audience is left with more than quotes. They leave with a lesson in composure, tact, and quiet power. Washington proves time and again that mastery of communication isn't about control for its own sake. It's about holding space for honesty, reflection, and the human truth that often gets lost in the rush of headlines. Chapter 5: The Imperial Court's Question. How he won Hollywood's riskiest location. When Antoine Fuqua's Training Day set out to film in the Imperial Court's housing project in Watts, Los Angeles, most Hollywood insiders would have balked. The area was notorious for gang activity, and major productions typically steered clear, opting for safer but far less authentic locations. But Denzel Washington's approach to this challenge was anything but conventional. Instead of relying solely on permits, security teams, or studio assurances, Washington took matters into his own hands. Alone, without a film crew or entourage, he walked into the heart of Imperial Courts, engaging directly with its residents. He didn't come with threats or promises, he came with respect and sincerity. He explained the film's intent, emphasizing that it sought to portray the neighborhood authentically, not exploitively. His presence and candor resonated. He wasn't a Hollywood actor demanding access. He was a human being acknowledging a community on its own terms. Klee Shaheed Bone Sloan, a former member of the Athens Sparks Bloods turned gang interventionist, played a critical role in bridging the gap. Sloan vouched for Washington in the production, convincing local residents that the filmmaker's intentions were genuine. This rare trust paved the way for what had never happened before: a major Hollywood production filming within Imperial Courts, with active cooperation from local gangs. Residents became extras, locals were hired for security, and the community participated in shaping the story. The result was raw, immersive scenes like the rooftop shots that captured the neighborhood's authentic energy and life. Washington's hands-on, fearless approach didn't just secure a location, it set a new standard for how Hollywood could engage with communities often misrepresented on screen. His willingness to enter a space others seemed untouchable, and to do so with humility and respect, demonstrated the kind of quiet courage that extends far beyond acting. In that moment, Denzel wasn't just portraying a cop on the edge of the law, he was showing the world how to build bridges where fear and skepticism usually dominate. The success of Training Day in Imperial Courts stands as a testament to the power of presence, trust, and authenticity. Washington's approach transformed a high-risk gamble into a historic collaboration, proving that true respect can unlock doors that fear alone never will. Chapter 6: How he answered Hollywood's toughest safety questions. Filming in Los Angeles has its risks, but few locations came with the reputation of Imperial Courts in the early 2000s. This wasn't a neighborhood where studios sent scouts with clipboards and security guards. It was volatile. Tensions ran high among local factions, including the PJ Watts Crips, and even the LAPD often steered clear. Hollywood protocols, heavy security, police escorts, green screen simulations couldn't capture the authenticity Antoine Fuqua and Denzel Washington wanted for Training Day. So Denzel took a different path. Weeks before camera rolled, he walked into Imperial Courts alone. No entourage, no security, just him, facing a community wary of outsiders. His goal wasn't to check a box or make a superficial gesture, he wanted genuine trust. He spoke openly, explaining the film's purpose: to portray the neighborhood with honesty and respect, to tell a story that reflected real life rather than sensationalized Hollywood fantasy. Klee Shaheed Bone Sloan, a former Athens Sparks Bloods member turned gang interventionist, became the bridge between Washington and the residents. Sloan vouched for the actors and the crew, clarifying that their intentions were sincere. The community listened, gradually opening the doors that Hollywood had long assumed were locked. Washington's calm, direct presence reassured residents that they wouldn't be exploited, they would be collaborators in telling their own story. That trust transformed production. Locals were hired as extras, community members served as on-site security, scenes were filmed on actual rooftops and streets, capturing a realism that would have been impossible under traditional Hollywood methods. It wasn't power or intimidation that made it possible, it was credibility, personal engagement, and respect. By navigating one of the city's most dangerous environments with humility and authenticity, Denzel Washington set a precedent. He proved that influence in Hollywood isn't measured by status or muscle, it's measured by the relationships you build, the respect you earn, and the courage to step into places others fear. In Imperial Courts, he didn't just film a movie, he built a bridge between two worlds, leaving a blueprint for how art and community can coexist without compromise. Chapter 7: Childhood lessons that shaped his confidence in any room. Denzel Washington's calm authority and ability to command any room didn't appear overnight. It was forged in the streets and schools of his youth. Born in 1954 in Mount Vernon, New York, he grew up in a neighborhood where danger often lingered just around the corner. As a teenager, he was sent to Oakland Military Academy at 14, a move he later credited with instilling the discipline and structure that would carry him through life. The world around him was not always kind. Several of his closest childhood friends ended up behind bars for decades, one serving 28 years, another 18, and others never survived the harsh realities of street life. In interviews, including Popcorn with Peter Travers, Denzel has spoken candidly about his environment. He repeatedly points to his mother as the guiding force that kept him on a different path. She had enough sense to get me out of that situation before it was going to be my turn.
My 3 closest friends did quite a bit of time.
Really?
Oh yeah, in decades.
My mother, I thought her purpose in life was to just embarrass me. She'd come get me on the street at any time, and everybody knew, you know, I had to be home a little earlier, and that my mother was always on my case and screaming at me, going crazy. And so I turned to kids and just looked like, you know, Mom. And as I was turning around, a hand was coming. Pow!
Witnessing his peers fall into crime, yet avoiding that fate himself, gave Denzel a rare perspective. He learned early how to operate on the edge of danger without being consumed by it. That ability to assess risk, measure responses, and maintain composure under pressure would later define his public persona. Whether he's facing probing interviews, walking alone into a gang-controlled neighborhood for a film shoot, or speaking truth to power on live television, the confidence that radiates from Denzel is rooted in these formative experiences. It's this grounded sense of self, built from childhood lessons and real-world survival, that allows him to navigate high-pressure environments with ease. Hollywood, with its spotlight glare and unseen political currents, became just another room where he could hold his own. That quiet, strong confidence, the product of discipline, insight, and lived experience, is a through line in every tense, defining moment of Denzel Washington's career. Chapter 8. The Red Carpet Truths. Denzel Washington's presence on the red carpet is never just about flashing smiles or striking poses for photographers. Over decades in Hollywood, he has shown an almost uncanny ability to navigate these high-pressure arenas, premieres, award shows, and press junket spaces, specifically designed to generate sound bites, gossip, and tension. For most actors, these moments are performative. For Denzel, they are opportunities to demonstrate composure, insight, and quiet authority.
As the music of Andrea Bocelli plays on the loudspeakers, a confrontation ensues after a photographer grabs him to get his attention for a photo. Not a good idea. Denzel snaps, pointing his finger at the photog and sternly declaring, "Never put your hands on me."
When journalists throw politically loaded or provocative questions his way, Washington doesn't flinch. He doesn't snap, deflect, or hide behind rehearsed answers. Instead, he responds with a careful mix of poise, wit, and precision, often redirecting the conversation in ways that leave interviewers and sometimes audiences reconsidering their own assumptions. A question that seems simple on the surface may reveal an underlying bias, and Denzel doesn't hesitate to expose it, gently but firmly, while maintaining the conversation's dignity. Whether discussing controversial social issues, rumored conflicts, or sensitive Hollywood politics, he has a way of turning the tables without ever appearing evasive or defensive. Each exchange becomes a lesson intact. He teaches reporters to think about what they are asking, the way they are asking it, and the implications of their words. On the red carpet, he is not merely a star posing for the cameras. He is a master of controlled truth-telling, capable of turning potentially uncomfortable interactions into moments of clarity and reflection. For viewers, these appearances reinforce what Denzel has always made clear through his career: authenticity is non-negotiable. Superficial compliance or scripted niceties will never define him. On the red carpet, as in life, Denzel Washington operates on his own terms, leaving a trail of moments where elegance, intellect, and subtle assertiveness collide. Moments that remind the world that true authority does not shout. It commands quietly, confidently, and without compromise. Chapter 9. calling out hypocrisy in Hollywood. Denzel Washington is no stranger to the performative rituals of Hollywood, but he has consistently shown that he is unwilling to play along with the insincerities that permeate the industry. In interviews, he has at times bluntly addressed the hypocrisy of fake praise, hollow accolades, or unearned fame. He challenges the narratives often fed by publicists, magazines, and talk show hosts, refusing to validate superficiality or perpetuate empty flattery. These moments often catch interviewers and peers off guard, not because he is confrontational, but because his honesty is deliberate and measured. He calls out pretense with a mix of gravity and subtle humor, reminding audiences and fellow actors alike that true talent, discipline, and integrity cannot be manufactured or staged for the cameras. Washington's willingness to speak plainly without disrespect, yet without compromise, sets him apart from many of his contemporaries, cementing his reputation as an actor who not only commands the screen, but also the conversation surrounding it. Chapter 10. Closing Reflection. Why his truth makes people squirm. If Training Day blurred the line between right and reckless on screen, Denzel Washington's career has consistently blurred the line between public image and private conviction. He doesn't move through the world based on scripts, trends, or social expectations. Instead, he moves according to principles he has honed over decades, principles rooted in respect, discipline, and an unshakable sense of self. From walking alone into watch to earn the trust of an entire community, to calmly redirecting pointed interview questions back onto the interviewer, to publicly calling out figures like Jerry Jones or holding his ground after tense moments courtside at a Lakers game, the through line is always the same: authenticity. He refuses to play a role dictated by others, no matter the audience or the stakes. In a world obsessed with performance, image, and viral moments, Washington's honesty has the power to unsettle. People squirm not because he's rude or aggressive, but because he refuses to sugarcoat, deflect, or compromise his convictions. He speaks truth with clarity, respect, and quiet authority, reminding the world that real influence doesn't come from theatrics or applause, it comes from character, courage, and integrity. That strong commitment, always saying what he believes, maintaining boundaries, and showing respect without him losing his own ground, is what makes Denzel Washington both compelling and, at times, uncomfortable to witness. It's a reminder that truth, delivered with confidence and conviction, can shake people, challenge assumptions, and even make the world take a deeper look at itself. In every film, every interview, every public appearance, and every quiet personal decision, Denzel Washington embodies this principle. He demonstrates time and again that the most powerful form of influence isn't spectacle, it's authenticity.